I just got a message about relationship building and how you're more interested in building with healthy or building healthy relationships. I'm also hearing the reason why you feel this way is because you understand what it's like to try to build with someone who's a slacker. You understand what it's like, so now you've learned a lot from that experience. You've learned so much that you know better, and now it's actually like a thing where you could teach other people, and you can just because you know that life so well now. That's a life that you lived, so now you know. You dealt with a lot with the slackers that you try to work with. You try to really give some people the benefit of the doubt, and you really tried for too long. Many times you tried for too long. It was like to the point where you really sacrificed yourself. And you didn't sacrifice yourself in one way. It was like you sacrificed your peace, your ability to enjoy the quality of life. Because when you're around someone who's a slacker, that really does affect your quality of life. No matter how you look at it. And that's with any relationship. It could be family, friends, and it could be definitely romantic, even though, romantic is really what I felt when I first just received the download just now. I just popped on the camera because I got the download. I was actually writing because I'm working on my book, the second one. I'm on like page 18 right now. But anyway, that was just a side note. I just heard anchor. You've dealt with people that really tried to anchor you, like just try to really have you underwater. You know when you're underwater how it feels? Like you could hear what is outside of the water, but it sounds muffled. It's giving a vibe to me of distortion. If you go underwater, you can hear it, like people talking, or I heard a bird call. You can hear things, right? But it's muffled, it's distorted. There's a distortion. And so when you're in relationships like this, it's like your perception becomes distorted at that point. Especially if you wanted to work with the person, your perception becomes distorted because it could be like a manipulation thing that you had to get through. It could be trouble accepting the truth when you go through those stages where it's hard to accept the truth because you just want something to work so bad that you ignore the obvious. Oh my goodness. I'm guilty of that. I've done that in my earlier years, and oh my. I learned a lot, but I look back and I'm like, why did I do that for that long? Why did I stick around for so long? And I feel like it's just like loyalty. And you end up being loyal to the wrong person. And I feel like a lot of you are loyal to someone who is just not ready for the real world. And again, this doesn't have to be just romantic. It could be friends, it could be family. Whoever it is, it really doesn't matter. Somebody just screamed. Anyway, it really doesn't matter like who it is. I heard it's the principle. Because anyone that makes your environment and your world feel distorted, they gotta go. I don't know. Listen, they might be family, they might be friends, they might be a romantic partner, but anytime you feel like someone is turning your world upside down and you feel like your perception is distorted, you already know that it is time to go. It is time for you to go. It's time for them to go. But something needs to change, like ASAP, okay? Something needs to change ASAP. These are the types of situations that will have you on like a mental restraint for years if you don't make the decision to say no. I just heard, you know how protesters, they be outside with the signs. I heard, hell no, we won't go. That's what I just, I saw it in my mind and I heard it in my mind also. So, better protest for your peace. To the person, it don't have to be a whole protest, you know. I don't really feel like those really work anyway. I feel like that's a waste. I always feel like that's like, what's really happening here? I feel like protests are like a waste of time. In a way, I just feel like it could be organized better. Like sign some petitions or something. Why are we just outside yelling? What is that? I don't know. Anyway, side note. I do that sometimes. Please bear with me. But yeah, protest when it comes to you feeling distorted. Speak up about it. I just feel like it's time to speak up more for yourself. If you know that you're feeling that someone is making you feel out of your own character, no, honey. No. There comes a time when you have to say no, and that is the perfect time to say no. It's like they're trying to force feed you their drugs that make everything seem like you're hallucinating, like you're on something, and you're not. You should be on one, but you end up stuck with this person that's just, it's like they become like a drug. They just be having you high all the time. But it's like, this high is like the worst high someone could be. Because most of the time you don't realize that you're high off the person. And it could be like high off of toxicity. To the point where people start to, it's almost like desire the toxicity. And they keep going back. That's why you like see sometimes people keep going back to toxic relationships. Because unfortunately they find like this false comfort in it. That's so dangerous because you're not really living anymore. Because of that addiction to the toxicity. And the worst part about that is is that they actually have a true desire to want to go back to what didn't work and what's still not working, with no indication that the person changed. Like, these are individuals that, this could have been you too, where you go back to someone knowing that they didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything to improve themselves since you've been gone. I hear a song in my mind. How's it go? Since you've been gone, feels good when I'm with you. I miss you. Come back home. See, that's the problem, right? People have trouble. I mixed up the words a little bit because I missed the whole line or something, but I was just catching a wave of the lyrics because the song came to me, and Spirit gives me downloads with music when I'm relaying a message. So I believe that's Mary J. Blige. Feels good when I'm with you. I miss you. Come back home. I need your smile. You see. Come stay here a while. I'm so alone and I miss you. Come back home. It's like the person can be toxic AF. Yes, toxic AF. But you miss their smile. You miss how they look at you. You miss how they wink at you. I heard you miss how they tap that. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to be that bad. But, I mean, seriously, these are the things that we're adults here. We know how it goes, right? So, There's certain things that you're going to miss about a person. And when a person gets lonely, they'll think about all the good stuff and completely forget about everything that stressed them out. And negate the pain as if it never happened, just to refrain from being alone. There's so many people that don't know how to be alone. And that is so bad. It's bad because, and I'm sure a lot of you got over this now, but I'm just speaking from the energy that I'm feeling. I'm just speaking, okay? It's bad because you accept anything under such conditions. You accept absolutely anything just because you don't want to be alone. You can know that this person is a dud, like a complete lump of lard. I heard lump of lard. A complete, just someone who is, I just heard a barnacle. Oh no. Y'all know I don't like barnacles. The circles together, ooh. There's a name for that. I am that. I have that, whatever. What is it called? I'm gonna look it up real quick because it's a name for people who don't like a lot of circles close together. Ooh. It's disgusting. I don't like that. But I'm gonna look it up so I can tell you what it's called. It's like a I guess it's a diagnosis of someone who doesn't like certain things, like a phobia, I think. Like arachnophobia is someone who's afraid of spiders. There's one for someone who is afraid of a lot of circles close together or just really dislikes them. The name of not a condition, but is it a diagnosis? Oh, phobia. A phobia of someone who does not like, ew. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Circles, they better not show me no damn circles. No, not together, please. Not together, don't show it to me. Oh, I can't look. Okay, it's called, they're trying to show me circles. The fear of clusters of small holes or bumps is called trypophobia. People with trypophobia may feel anxious, disgusted. Yes, that's me. Or uncomfortable. Yes, I'm uncomfortable. So I'm hiding the picture from myself. When looking at things with repetitive patterns of small holes. Yes, I don't like that at all. Trypophobia. But it says honeycombs. For some reason, honeycombs doesn't really bother me so much because honeycombs are like circles close together. Ooh. Okay. So it's like circles close together. But, like, what was that movie I saw? That was disgusting. What was it called? What is it? Something man. Ooh, his skin. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something man. And Candyman. Ew, I saw Candyman in a movie theater and he started to change. He was transforming into the Candyman. And there was a scene where his whole body was like holy, like holes were everywhere. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me stop thinking about it because it's creeping me out. Woosah. Okay, I'm back. Gonna get back to these messages. Okay, so yeah. So I was talking about the anchor. I was talking about since you've been gone, it's been too long. Feels good when I'm with you because I miss you. Come back home. Okay, so many of you could have actually gone through that where you know that person is unhealthy. You know that they're not right for you. Ooh, you know it. You know it, but you're still like, I miss you. Oh, I miss you too. Oh, you're gonna come over? Yeah, come on. Okay. And then before you know it, there's an argument. Words are being tossed to and fro. It's just a problem. It's no bueno. No bueno. And that's just something I feel like we struggle with until we don't. Until we recognize the problem and we start making different decisions in our lives when we learn from that. So kudos to those who have gotten through that. And I'm rooting for those who are still going through that and it's difficult for you, because I know it's hard. Many of us have done that. That's a part of life. Trying to figure out why we should leave someone alone and forget about it when you get that in between the sheets activity going on. Oh my. Then that's an extra soul tie, because then you're connected on that level. And then that right there can have you staying with somebody for too long, because, you know, people tend to like that stuff, don't they? They do. So, you know, it's like, that's another thing that keeps you in a relationship for too long, when it's been done. And when it's like, you've gotten past that, a lot of you, where you're recognizing that you're more valuable than you once thought. You know, your value is so much more than you realized before, because you used to put up with that. Once you know your value as a person, there's a lot of things that you're no longer going to deal with. You're just not going to deal with it, because you know better. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. You'll check yourself quicker than before. And you're also able to spot the problem, like, way before it happens. Your discernment becomes stronger, and you're able to see. And I feel like that's where a lot of you are. Your discernment is so strong that you could detect when someone is faulty. Like, when someone has like faulty character traits, and you know that some people, you might feel like you can't even take them anywhere. Like, you can't go to certain places with certain people because of how they behave themselves or what they choose to get into. So if you were to bring them around certain people or in certain environments, they could embarrass you just because they don't know how to conduct themselves. Like, you know, and that's another thing, because then that makes you look crazy. You bring in someone that doesn't even know how to conduct themselves around, you know, certain people that you have certain relationships with that actually mean something to you. And then those people are going to be looking at you like, why would you, like, who is that? Like, you know, why would you bring that person? Yeah. So be mindful, you know, be mindful of those things, because you don't need someone trying to like if someone is not, if you don't see a person as a enhancement of your life, like they get around you and your life gets better, if they don't do that, then you want to reevaluate that relationship. If you get with someone or get around someone or bring them into your circle and you notice you start feeling wrong and things just not going right, and you could tell that it's because of this person, whoever this is, you already know that's not a person that should be around you. I heard some people carry bad juju, like they bad luck. And it's just because it's almost like a trail that follows them because of their ways. There's too much that they don't know. I just heard there's too much that they don't know and they're not willing to learn. Oh no. Yeah. I mean, of course there's going to be so much that we all don't know, but to not want to learn on top of that makes it extra ridiculously crazy. So at that point, you already know what's up. It's like, no. Just say no. It will serve great purpose in your life when you know when to say no and when to really reject what you may have thought initially was an opportunity. Because sometimes when you get around people, you feel like, you know, you just look for the good in a person. You don't want to be trying to find something wrong with a person. I think that's the worst approach to come with when you're meeting someone, regardless of who it is. You know, you just want to see them for who they are and let them show you. But when you're like looking for something wrong, I feel like, I don't know. I just try to, maybe that's just me. I just try to look for the best in people. I just see the best in people. But if you show me the worst, then you show me. And then I see it. And then that's all I need to know how to move accordingly. Right? So, because you've chosen to build healthy relationships as opposed to staying in relationships with individuals who are slackers, you are winning in life. You know, you really are. And choosing not to go along with what other people do, that's another thing. You know, a lot of people will want to be in a relationship just because everyone in their circle is in a relationship. So then they'll just take on anybody. The first person smoking, they just on it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they like the person like that. It doesn't mean that it's something that has potential to grow. It's just a placeholder to say, oh, I'm not single, I'm with somebody. But you don't even, there's nothing really there. There's no glue. There's no real, it's not real. It's just a facade. And that's when I really feel like it becomes a problem, and it becomes toxic, like a toxic trait, to just, for someone to always have to be with someone, regardless of if they like them or not. And then they don't know how to be in solitude and feel comfortable with themselves. Anytime someone starts that pattern, you know, it's a concern. It's a concern that I feel that it's almost like, how can I say this? It's a concern for their own well-being, really. Because from someone like me or you on the outside looking into someone else's relationship or a situation, you'll see, you know, they're going down the wrong path. But it's like people have their own choice of what they want to do. Like, you know, and I'm sure many of you have had someone in your family or a close friend tell you, you know, there's something about that person that it's not right. And then you're like, no, leave them alone. You're defending them. You make all the excuses that you can just to be able to make it right. You just want to make it right. But like when somebody close tell you something, regardless of how much you don't want to see it, it's worth analyzing, because someone who's really down for you, they're going to tell you the truth. That's one thing. So just in case you're still going through this, hold on to this message and take it with you on your journey of possibly not feeling comfortable being alone and not being able to find solitude in oneself, not being able to be with oneself instead of always having to be with someone. Because when you find peace within oneself, it's actually very beautiful. But it's just not easy for many people because they don't really know what to do with that time. But if you feel like that, drop it in the comments if you feel comfortable, and let me know, what is it about being alone that makes you feel uncomfortable? And have you tried anything to try to fill that void of feeling uncomfortable? And if you also have any questions, drop them down in the comments as well. And what else did I want to say? If you've gotten out of this type of relationship where you know someone was trying to keep you underwater and you felt like your whole world was distorted, because that's what these types of relationships make you feel like. It makes you feel like you're in like a fun house with all those mirrors that make you look all types of different shapes and sizes. It's like a distortion because you don't even know what's real anymore. You want to believe one thing, but it's really something else. And then the person could be manipulating, lying, you know, finagling their way into trying to stay with you for whatever reason. You know, it could be so many different things when it comes to something like that. But a lot of times people like that want you to stay around. They want you to stick around. They'll put an anchor on your ankle and try to have you somewhere under the sea so they can call upon you at their beck and call. Almost they start to treat you like their servant or something. That's what I'm getting from this message. I keep on thinking about how it sounds underwater when you hear sounds on the outside. But I just keep on getting distortion. But yeah. So I hope this helps you to see this type of relationship a little differently, because this can be a tough one, and I know a lot of people go through this. So choose what's best for you. You know, it's okay to give people the benefit of the doubt for a little while, not too long now, because if they show you something, then they're showing you who they truly are. Believe them the first time. It'll save you a lot of trouble. You don't gotta wait for years trying to look for something that's not there. It's a waste of your precious time. Your time is precious. Okay? Your time, it means so much that you want to respect your own time. Okay? Because there's so many beautiful things that you could be doing. There's so many other relationships that you can be indulging in. And to hold on to someone who's like wrapping an anchor on your ankle, trying to keep you under the sea, like you a damn sea serpent dragon, that ain't right. That's not right. It's not right, because that's not what you're supposed to be in this lifetime. Right now, you are someone who doesn't have to be underwater. You can choose to release a person like this. It's your choice. You don't have to just go along with what somebody says based on how they feel. Is it right for the both of you or not? That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep it simple. Okay? I was talking a lot, wasn't I? I felt like I had to take a deep breath. Everything you do, do it with love. Always remember, the creator is in you and the magic is too, because you're magic. Much love to you. I'll see you in the next video.